It's amazing how timeless that video clip is.
Right?
Abbott and Costello.
Bend it and rip it.
I laugh every time I watch it. Every time I see it, I laugh.
They're so good at it. You just wonder how they
Keep
must
a
have
straight face when
practiced.
they're doing some of that stuff.
You wonder how many times they had to rehearse it to get it right.
Yeah. I mean, it just, yeah, they're amazing.
Lip stuff. Now I'm gonna be on camera all the time.
No, always got to make sure my lipstick's on.
You do, you look up and you see like from here on over on
Good.
camera, so you,
Okay,
you
I'm
start
okay.
scooching over a little bit to get off camera.
Yep.
He does a really good job when he focuses on Dave, because I'm not in anything except for Yak. Like, you'll see, like, if I turn my head, my hair.
Does he know that I'm starting?
I don't know.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And that's why,
Mhm.
so when he came in, he saw the name tags like that, so that's how he set the cameras up. So that's why we're starting this way, in your new spots.
Oh,
instead
got
of
it.
Getting up and switching.
It's moving around and
So
everything.
Wendy
so-
used to bring lemon drops when she sat here, and Linda had
Does he know
hand
that's
sanitizer.
okay?
I don't know what you're bringing.
I better bring
What
take
are you-
notes.
What are you
on
gonna
that.
bring?
Wine. Going back to that.
I have chocolate mints today and peanut brittle.
What are they doing way down there? They're supposed to be here.
There's the hand sanitizer right there.
Right.
I'm doing the winter reads at the library.
And I will be calling your names out of order today, so.
Just gets
I say
harder
here,
and
right?
harder and harder.
Forget which was first. I think this one.
Well, good evening and welcome to South St. Paul City Hall. I'd like to call the Monday, January 13th, 2020 school board meeting to order. Will you please take the roll?
Inspector Arend?
Here.
Inspector Lalaberty?
Here.
Inspector Walker?
Here.
Inspector Bjorklund?
Here.
Inspector Diaz?
Here.
Inspector McClellan?
Here.
Inspector Felton is present, 7 members.
Thank you. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you again for attending tonight or for watching at home. Tonight is our annual school board reorganization meeting. It takes place in the first meeting of the calendar year, of each calendar year. We have a number of items on our agenda that will get us set up for the 2020 calendar year. The first thing I will do is ask for a motion to approve the meeting agenda for this evening, as well as the minutes from our Committee of the Whole and regular business meetings that took place on December 9th, 2019. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Patty. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Then the agenda and the previous minutes are approved. Now, the first order of business for the evening is to select our officers. Nominations are now in order for the office of chair. Are there any nominations?
I would like to nominate Jeff McClellan.
Okay, Jeff McClellan is nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of chair? Last call for nominations for the office of chair. Being that Jeff McClellan is the only candidate nominated for the office of chair, I hereby declare him elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to record that in the minutes. I would like to congratulate Jeff.
Thanks, Chris. I'd like to take a minute to thank you for serving as board for 3 years and done an outstanding job. Again, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Nominations in our order for vice chair for the term commencing in the first business meeting of January 2020 to the first business meeting of January 2021?
I nominate Linda Diaz.
Linda Diaz is nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice Chair? Last call for nominations for the office of Vice Chair. Linda Diaz is the only candidate nominated for the office of Vice Chair. I hereby declare her elected for a term commencing on the first business meeting of January 2020 to the first business meeting of January 2021, and by acclamation, then direct the acting clerk to do so, record in the minutes. Congratulations, Linda.
Thanks.
Nominations are now in order for board clerk for a term commencing in the first business meeting in January 2020 to the first business meeting in January 2021.
I would like to nominate Nikki Laliberty for that position.
Nikki Laliberty is nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of clerk? Last call for the nominations for office of clerk. Nikki Laliberty is the only candidate nominated for the office of clerk. I hereby declare her elected for a term commencing on the first business meeting in January 2020 to the first business meeting in January 2021, and by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to do so, record in the minutes. Congratulations, Nikki.
Thank you.
Nominations are now in order for the term commencing, for treasurer, for the term commencing in the first business meeting in January 2020 to the first business meeting in January 2021.
I nominate Patty Bjorklund.
Patty Bjorklund is nominated. Are there any nominations for office of treasurer? Oh, sorry. This is last call for nominations for the office of treasurer. Patty Bjorklund is the only candidate nominated for the office of treasurer. I hereby declare her elected for the term commencing on the first business meeting in January 2020 to the first business meeting in January 2021, and by acclamation, and direct the acting clerk to record so in the minutes. Congratulations, Patty.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is for the approval of the school board meeting schedule for the 2020 calendar year. Do I have a motion to approve the 2020 board meeting schedule?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Are there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the approval for the school board committee and liaison assignments for the 2020 calendar year. Do I have a motion to move this agenda?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is for the approval to provide delegation of clerk and treasurer duties for the day-to-day business. Is there a motion to approve this agenda item?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now I'm looking for a motion to authorize the finance director and assistant business manager to make electronic funds transfers.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is designating Bremer Bank, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, and the Minnesota School District liquid asset funds, plus the depositories for the school funds. Is there a motion to move this agenda item?
So moved.
Second. Is there a second?
Second.
So used to that. Yeah. Any discussion?
One point, I am not going to vote on this because I am a Wells Fargo employee. My job has nothing to do with anything related to the school district, but just to make sure there's no conflict of interest, I will not be voting.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is to authorize the finance director to invest funds in accordance to Minnesota Statute 118A. Do I have a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is designating Rupp, Anderson, Squires, and Waldsberger, Knutson, Flynn, and Deans, and District 917 Legal Services as legal counsel for the district, and individual authorized to contact following approval from the superintendent's office. Is there a motion to move this agenda item?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're just about there, folks. The next item on the agenda is designating the Pioneer Press as the official newspaper for the school district for the 2020 calendar year. Is there a motion to move this item?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is authorized continuing use of facsimile signatures for the board officers on all check warrants issued by the school district. Is there a motion to move this agenda item?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The last item for reorganization portion of our agenda is adopting the Roberts Rules of Order. Do I have a motion to move this agenda item?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Finally, we are at the exciting part of our meeting. Thank you for your patience. We are excited to welcome Ben Cush, lead designer for Tri-District Career and College Readiness Program, and Ryan Pagankoff.
Yes,
Thank you.
and Linda Brunsvold as well.
I'm sorry?
And Linda Brunsvold
Okay.
as well? Well, I can do some those
Yeah.
introductions.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay, take it away, Ben.
Awesome. Well, wonderful. Thank you all so much, Chair McClellan, Superintendent Webb, members of the board. Thanks for having us here this evening. I had a lot of organizational stuff, exciting things getting started, but also with that, some exciting things going on with South St. Paul, but also with our partner districts of Inver Grove Heights and West St. Paul, Mendota Heights, and Egan. I've got a few items to share with you, but before you hear from me, some of the really exciting stuff, I'm going to invite Ryan Pagankoff, a business education teacher from Henry Sibley High School, Linda Brunsvold, English teacher from Simley High School, and Josh Leone, a junior from South St. Paul High School. So we have true tri-district representation here to get us up, off, and running, and talk a little bit about our newest program, which is our business and entrepreneurship program. So, you guys.
And Ben, would you stay at the podium for just a minute while we take a photo?
Absolutely.
Get you guys in action. So, all right. Would you like a photo of this? No, go ahead.
Thanks again for having us here to give us an opportunity to showcase our CAPS class that we've had. It's been a tremendous success for us this year. It went out without a hitch. And first thing I want to start out, well, introduce myself. I'm Ryan Pagankoff. I'm the business ed teacher at Henry Sibley.
And I'm Linda Brunsvold's English teacher at Simley.
Thank you.
And we'll give.
Thank you.
And I'm Joshua Leon. I'm a student at Tri-District and at South St. Paul.
So the first thing we pride ourselves in is having a non-traditional classroom. We have an off-site campus at Evolve Workplace, and some of the things that we do in our class is we have various guest speakers come in from the business world. We do a lot of group projects, group projects where students are collaborating, working together, problem solving, doing a lot of research, and then also we work with our internships. Which are going to be starting here on January 21st. So that's an opportunity for our kids to really get the life skills of creating their applications, doing their job interviews, accepting, or maybe determining which one of the internships that they get approved, because some of them got approved for multiple internships. So those are some of the things that we are doing in our classroom to really make it non-traditional, and just it's a great opportunity for our kids. So I'll turn it over to Linda.
The piece of paper that you have here was blank when we started in June. So that's why we're kind of really proud of what we were able to put together. The students have had the opportunity of working with a variety of small businesses in the area. And Josh would like to tell you a little bit about Hardline.
Great.
Well, one of our projects involves Hardline, a concrete and masonry company, and they came with us with a problem that involves finding and retaining employees. And one of our solutions that involves amongst those problems is the use of social media. Since Hardline doesn't have any, only has Facebook and Angie's List, we thought putting it on Instagram will attract more people such as our generation to work with them. And after we presented them our presentation, and she gave a thought, and she has made an account on her Instagram which attracts very well a good amount of teens to work with Hardline. And one of our classmates at the Tri-District business will be starting an internship with them soon this year in April.
Awesome.
Not only that, but he's already got his summer job offer starting at $17 an hour and ending at the end of the summer at 30.
Wow.
So he's.
Potentially.
Potentially. But the employer is a wrestler and James is a wrestler, so they're going to wrestle it out. My portion as the English language arts person is to make sure that it's somewhat of a non-traditional setting where the reading, the writing, the listening, the speaking all have something to do potentially with the business world. So we've used the St. Paul Pioneer Press, we've used a book that was written by a CAP student from Minnetonka, I believe it was, about the Gen Z generation. So it inspired a whole lot of different conversations about the working intergenerationally. We have also more time now, second semester, of being able to make sure that they get preparation for the ACTs, the acuplacers, or whatever it needs to get them into where they're going in the fall. So with that.
Yeah. Well, one thing too with the internships and all the other things that are going on, I'd just like to give a shout out to Ben. He's done an amazing job putting all this together, bring in these amazing speakers and coordinate the internships. And it's just short of a miracle to coordinate 50 to 60 kids on a field trip, getting them from 3 different districts back and forth without losing 1 or 2 along the way. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Ben. He's been amazing along the way. So with that said, one of our final projects that we've been working on is a marketing video to keep this program strong because it is so important to kids, and it's just an awesome experience. I wish my district would have had one when I was in high school because I would have been all over, no doubt about it. So our students put together this presentation, so we're just going to watch a short video here quick.
No. There. Now you can hit it. There. Good.
CAP stands for the Center for Advanced Professional Studies. We are a professional-based program that takes students from high school classroom and puts them in a real-world setting. CAPS provides a well-rounded learning experience that combines classroom instruction, group projects, one-on-one mentorships, and immediate real-life application through internship.
What I love about the CAPS business program is it's all hands-on learning. The projects and presentations we work on are very different from the traditional classroom setting. Instead of sitting and listening to a teacher talk all day, we are able to pick what we like to work on.
There are many opportunities that come with being a part of CAPS. We collaborate with many small businesses. One of our first projects was to help a concrete masonry company called Hardline. They needed help finding and retaining employees. We were able to provide them with a presentation of what they needed to do. It turned out to be such a great opportunity because you don't usually work with companies in school. We gained real-world experience by helping a small business grow. For the first half of the year, you will spend time at a local co-working area. For the second semester, you will participate in an internship. During that time, you will get to work with a live business and earn real-life experience that will benefit you in the future. You should join CAPS Business and Entrepreneurship because it gives you an opportunity to expand your knowledge and create your own projects. It is a great program to take and explore those projects and solve real-world problems.
Awesome.
That's great.
Very nice.
Great.
Do you have any questions you'd like to put our way?
Linda, how many people could your program handle at this point in time?
I think we're looking for 10 from each district. I think we could easily do 30. The easily on my part is the English part would be fine, but I think Ben would have to tell you how many business partners we'd have on board.
And how many do you have presently?
We have 7.
Okay.
We started with 7, 4 from South St. Paul, 2 from Sibley, and 1 from Simley.
Okay, and did you negotiate a vacation package for the intern that's going to be hired in January?
Boy, I forgot to do that.
That's part of the
I'll get on that
package.
tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
I'd like to go to Florida or something.
Anybody else have any questions?
Just a thank you on behalf of our district for 2 leaders from other districts. This whole system works through partnership. We're one of the very few places of the metro where 3 districts have been linking arms together to serve our kids better and better. This is our first year launching the business pathway, so thank you for trailblazing and leading. And we're excited about the years to come. You know, it was just probably 35 years ago we started our IB program here and continue to grow into a middle and elementary version. And there already are, we're doing more and more in our middle school. And it won't be long till there'll be more and more clamoring for, hey, what can we do in STEM and go deeper in elementary as well. So thanks for leading the way. Thanks for your partnership, and we really appreciate it.
I was just wondering, will you be doing another showcase exhibition this spring?
Absolutely.
Like we did last year, because it was so informative. It was so nice to.
Calendars Thursday, May 21st. I believe it's a Thursday.
I just really would like to say thank you for thinking outside of the box, you know, for thinking about how different ways for kids to get hands-on learning and to tie it to the real world. And I just think we're creating such open-minded, creative citizens. So thank you for your part in that.
Yes, thank you very much. If you'd like to come up and shake the board's hands, I'll give you a South St. Paul sticker
I'm
if
sure
you
they want to see you. You can put it on your car.
Down. Thank you for everything. It's wonderful. Good job. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Ryan. Great job. Oh.
Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah.
Retired then.
Well, I don't know about retired, but
Thanks a lot.
I have a wife and kids, you know, they get really expensive now.
I know that. I like that.
Thanks for coming out tonight. Thanks for leading the way. Appreciate it.
I love that program.
Well, and Dr. Webb, do you want me to continue just a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. So one of the other things that Dr. Webb asked me to also speak to is just a brief program update, kind of where we are. Am I up and running?
Yep, you're
Okay.
good.
As well as a short look ahead. So, as I think you're all aware, we currently have 3 programs up and running. You know, we've seen growth in all 3 programs across just across this past year. You know, last year we started with healthcare, careers in medicine, as well as transportation. We've seen numbers. You know, we went from about 25 in healthcare last year to about 30. We're running at about 32 right now. Transportation started with 12. We're up at 14 this year. And I've got some encouraging numbers at the end here. Business and entrepreneurship, just a little bit of recognition and a shout out to our partners. One of the things that I've done just to kind of highlight existing partners versus new partners is you'll see the bold print. If you see something underlined, that's our host site. Everything's bold in business and entrepreneurship because it's a new program this year, but you can see we're based up out of Evolve Workplace. The partners we've been working with so far, Ream Kentworth, the West St. Paul YMCA, Modern Automotive Performance, the South Robert Street Business Association, Recurly, which is it's a big data management company, for lack of a better term, Skyline Exhibits, and then Bay and Bay. They have all been contributors amongst many, many others in terms of guest speakers. Healthcare careers in medicine. You know, our programming partners include our host sites, which are Training House and Twin Cities Orthopedics. You can see the list in the regular font from last year. Looking ahead to the current year, as well as internship placements, we've got the School Age Care Program 197, Vista Prairie at River Heights, which is here in South St. Paul, the Vision Source Yankee Eye Care Center, White Pine Senior Living and Memory Care, and that's like, hopefully it's both sites in both Inver Grove Heights and Mendota Heights. Transportation Technologies course, we've expanded to include Marie Avenue Service, Signal Garage, again, Modern Automotive Performance. Whip Air was with us last year, so that's an error on my part, but Bay & Bay is working with us on the transportation side, Warner Stellian, as well as Penske and Cherokee Service. So we've seen some good expansion of opportunities in all of our programs. As we get ready for, I'll go back here, but briefly, where we're at right now is, as you know, the way that our program is set up is that in the fall semester, and Ryan and Linda and Josh all referred to this a little bit, our course consists of 3 aspects, and that is, ongoing career exploration in the given field. I call it a continued broad view of a narrow field. The professional skill development, which is absolutely resumes, job interview skills, all those kinds of things. But really more than anything, it's developing that mindset of being in the workplace and what that takes. So many times our partners have said, don't necessarily, don't get at the technical skills, Ben. We can help get them there. What we need is folks that are on time, that are prepared, that show up consistently, and know how to be engaged and be a good collaborator and a good coworker. And so those are the kinds of things that we really focus on. Ryan and Linda both throw in their technical expertise, but really, our partners say, don't send them to school, send them to us. We'll help them figure out what it is that they want to do, and in a lot of cases, our partners are saying, and we'll help pay for it too.
That's so cool.
And then, as Josh spoke to, one of the things in business, I got to tip my cap to Ryan and Linda in the business program as well. They've really picked up and run with the projects that our kids have worked on. So they talked a little bit about working with hardline concrete and masonry. They also did some work with Dodge Nature Center over in Mendota Heights. Was there anybody else? We kind of dipped into and out of a few other partners, but were there any?
We did Tradeify, which was through Dakota County Youth, and we did the thing with Jacoby.
Oh, yeah, doing some work with Evolve. And so we continue to work with business partners, doing some outreach in terms of what are the kinds of tasks that we might be able to take on. Looking ahead to next year in the 2021 school year, you can see down on the bottom, Henry, Sibley, and Simley, neither have registered just yet. But the feedback that we're getting from students really walks well out in the registration numbers that we're seeing from South St. Paul. So you can see right now in working with Mr. Ochaki as well as Ms. Jeffrey and Mr. Paulson, Mitch and Stacy being the assistant principal and the counselor working with 11th and 12th grade students. You can see our numbers are already looking pretty good for South St. Paul. Close to 50 students interested in our healthcare program, and then transportation and business and entrepreneurship really kind of exploding in terms of student interest. Wow. So some of the things that we'll be doing to continue that conversation, meeting with the students next week, those students that have registered, pulling them out, making sure that they know what the program is, making sure they know what the program isn't, what some of the expectations are around it, and then the following week for students that are available, particularly in our transportation and business and entrepreneurship program, giving an opportunity to tour the facilities, meet the teachers, connect with the students that are in the program and that have been in the program to hear a little bit more about it firsthand. These are some of the strategies that are used by other programs like ours, across the metro and across the country that are involved in the CAPS network. And some of that comes from the recommendations that they've made to us as well. So with that, thank you. Thank you for your past support, your current support, your ongoing support as we see these programs grow and develop. I really believe, kind of to board member Arlen's question, and what Linda and Ryan have talked to as well, what is our business capacity? What is our partnership capacity? I really I hesitate to say, no problem, but the more we're engaged, our partners with the River Heights Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary Clubs of Mendota Heights, West St. Paul, Inver Grove Heights, and South St. Paul, we really continue to see, increased and improved, interest, engagement, curiosity, and a desire to be involved. And so, some of the partners that I don't have on there, Inver Grove Ford has said, yes, we're interested in continuing to work with you, and I know, and I'm confident that there are others out there as well. They just don't know it yet.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Yep, thank you, Ben.
So great.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Ben. I have a question. If this did happen to snowball, which it very well could, are you able to handle everybody who's interested in taking a look at it?
Well, I think,
Healthcare example from this year.
What's that?
Seniors.
well, yeah, I think we've set kind of our current capacity right around 30 students per program. I think the way that we're currently configured, we can support that. I think one of the I think it's a good problem to have, if there is such a thing as a good problem. We see the level of interest from South St. Paul in particular with 48 students. We always see a little bit of attrition in terms of enrollment. Kids leave for the summer. We do the best that we can to engage kids across the spring, bridge them over the summer and into the fall. And I think the other reality of it is our program is for juniors and seniors. We know that we always try to give our seniors a first shot at it, but we're also interested in, the kind of candidates that are going to be the most successful. And sometimes that's a moving target. I think, what makes a student typically successful in a traditional school setting is a little bit different than what we're after. But in some ways it's not a stretch, because we all know, what do they say, 80% of success is just showing up. I mean, that's really what we're after. So in answering your question, currently as we're configured, the capacity is there. As we start looking beyond that, I think, what our model really relies upon is engagement with our business partners. And while I think that we have that in terms of guest speakers and site visits and internships and all those kinds of things, what really, and Josh, I'd look to you, and Ryan and Linda, you as well, is it really makes a difference to step off campus. And the persona and the attitude and the way that kids carry themselves changes. And so I think the capacity issue that we're going to have is, if we were to expand to multiple sections, I don't know where we would go. We would need to find another partner that's got the capacity to host us in all of our places. And I don't know that there's many places that can do that, because that's really a pretty unique ask.
Are you looking?
I'm starting to.
Starting to, okay.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for coming in.
Thanks to each of you. The piece that I like best is that, and the students will tell you, this is real.
Yeah.
So, Josh, you probably had to do an interview to get the internship that you are going to start in 2 weeks?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you have to go out, get your internship. Mr. Cush will help maybe tee some up for you, but you still have to do the interview and get the offer. And some of our kids are getting multiple offers. And then it's cool because some of the employers are so short of employees that they can sometimes do class and stay after and work and get a couple hours of paid work in, which parlays into summer and beyond. So how about one more round of applause for our team?
Thank you for coming.
Well done.
Wish my first one had access to something like that.
Next up is Dr. Webb with the superintendent's report.
So just one last career and college readiness pathway. So what a great thing that 3 years ago we said we need to balance out our IB program to make sure we have career programming as well. And we get to see the fruits of that labor. So you saw like Bryn Sexauer in the video earlier. She applied for and got the internship at Ream Kenworth. So brand new business just built in South St. Paul, finished 2 years ago. She landed there. So great stories that are coming out of our school. It all goes back to, excuse me, changing the question that we asked for the last 100 years. So the previous 100 years, we asked business, what can you do for us? And 3 years ago, we changed the question to what can we do for you? And as schools, how can we support you? And what the transportation folks said was, we don't have enough employees. We're willing to train at our facility people in the transportation area. We have a variety of pathways, but we can't find enough students that are interested in this, what they say is just great transportation profession or business career or healthcare career. So our kids are getting jobs. Some of them are going directly in. Some of them are still following their traditional college path and whatnot. But it's a great success story over the last 3 years. All right, so on to our meeting just prior to this meeting, and that's our superintendent update for tonight. We began with a staffing update. We reviewed policy, which is on our agenda as well at this meeting tonight. And we had our school board reorganization session, got grounded for all of our year to come. We want to remind parents and students and staff that over the next month, we're going to be having a number of engagement sessions. We, 6 years ago, had these same conversations about a plan called Vision 2020. And believe it or not, we turned around and we're here at 2020. So now it's time to start again and not throw everything out from our previous plans, but to get new kind of laser focus on the next 5 years. So we are inviting people into the process. You'll get tapped in emails, probably maybe even more than you care to in the weeks and months to come. But we really want to set our course for the future for Vision 2025. A couple highlights from around the district. We have been doing a lot of tech training with our teachers to continue to better and better utilize the devices that all of our students have in our district. So our elementary teachers, our middle and high school teachers can join tech cohorts that they participate in over the couple of months, get in some great training, in-depth activities, and then share with their colleagues so we train the trainer, so to speak. We also just want to do a shout out to our entire hockey program and community, Pete Schultz in specific, for organizing the 75th anniversary of South St. Paul Packer hockey. So there's some pretty well-known faces here and on the screen. There's people that are representing other people that are here on the screen, but only in South St. Paul. The gentleman kneeling on the far right is 91 years old, came back, was on some of those first Packer hockey teams 75 years ago, and when they called people to announce them to come onto the ice, they had the carpeted runway onto the ice, and at 91 years old, he came running out onto the ice. So all I can say is when I'm 91, I'm hoping I'm running onto the ice too. So just a great group of people. If you go on the other side of the arena from where this picture was taken, I want to highlight for our community that there's a new banner mural that spans about, must be close to 150 feet, and takes up like 3 huge sections of the arena wall up and behind the home bleachers. And Pete Schultz deserves a shout out, and even Megan Schultz for a shout out for organizing those photos. But it is the true photos of the past 75 years. Even board member Aaron made the photo list of 75 years of hockey. But it's a true treasure and worth a good 10, 15 minutes of a walk back in time of South St. Paul hockey. So there you go. We have a number of upcoming events. We have our staff engagement sessions, student, parent engagement sessions, again for that Vision 2025. We have food distributions, our tri-district community education programs, and all the rest. So keep watching our website for what's coming next. We'll go back to you for this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Webb. Moving into the regular business portion of our meeting, I'm looking for a motion to approve the consent items on tonight's agenda, which include financial claims, bills payable, and staffing as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving into the policy section of our agenda. As a point of reference, school policy number 208 requires policy under review to be placed on 2 consecutive school board meeting agendas for review and comment by board members, staff, and community members. On the 3rd meeting, the policy will go before the school board for approval. We have 9 policies up for approval. I will entertain a motion for approval of these policies. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We also have a series of policies that have been added to the agenda for a first reading. These policies will remain under review until February 10th, 2020. And all of these policies can be found on the district website. Now to the business item section of our meeting. We only have one item tonight, and it's the approval of the acceptance of a gift resolution. The resolution will be moved by Patty and read.
Okay, here we go. Be it resolved that the School Board of South St. Paul's Public Schools, Special School District Number 6, accept the following donations as indicated in the detailed background listed below. Donation amount of $5,596.97, designated to the South St. Paul Special Services Program. Donation is from the South St. Paul Inver Grove Heights Rotary, and its purpose is for the mobile vision screener. I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Webb, will you share some background on this?
I sure will, and wow, $5,000 piece of equipment to help detect early vision problems in some of our youngest kids in the district. So we just want to do a huge shout out to Rotary for stepping up, getting a grant in place from the Rotary International, and then it's, you know, all of the gifts that we've gotten through Rotary, oftentimes like last year might have gone to Inver Grove Heights, or the year before that it could gone to 917, and we tend to share wherever possible amongst still our Dakota County districts or tri-districts, and so this is another piece of equipment that we think will help a number of kids, and we just give Rotary a shout out tonight.
Thanks, Dave. Any other discussion? Lisa, will you please take the roll?
Inspector Lalaberty,
Yes.
Inspector Arend,
Yes.
Inspector Felton,
Yes.
Inspector Diaz,
Yes.
Inspector Bjorklund,
Yes.
Inspector Walker,
Yes.
and Inspector McClellan.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas.
That's it for a business item this evening, so we'll move on to reports and informational items from the board. We'll start with Chris.
I just want to say thank you to the 4 new officers of the board. It's a big step. It takes up a lot of extra time that beyond the 2 meetings a month that they were promised when you're running for the board. So I just want to acknowledge that they have stepped up to accept that responsibility and the time and effort involved with it, and thank them for it. So thank you.
Thanks. Patty?
Yeah, and I just want to return the favor and thank you for your leadership. It is, we have learned a lot since the 3 of us got here 3 years ago, and you were part of that, so thank you.
You're
for your
very
leadership.
welcome.
And that's all I have.
Linda?
Yeah, nothing for me tonight.
Wendy?
I have a list.
Yeah.
Imagine that. I just want to remind everyone that this coming weekend, at the secondary building, it is our one-act play festival in the theater. Friday evening performance at 7 p.m. and then a Saturday afternoon performance at 2 o'clock. As a reminder, senior citizens get in free. If you're interested in going, please call and reserve your tickets. That's this weekend for the one-act plays. And I want to put a shout-out, congratulations to our boys swimming team. This past weekend was the Packer Invitational held at Central Square, and our swim team placed second. So I want to congratulate our boys. They did a great job. Really proud of them. They had a really, really big crowd, so thanks to our Packer swim team. Great job. And believe it or not, as we are already halfway through January, we're already starting to plan for next year's school. In just 2 weeks coming up, we will be having kindergarten registration at Kaposia and Lincoln Center on Thursday evening, January 30th, 6 o'clock. If you have a child at home who will be turning 5 before September, please plan on attending one of those evenings. For more information, please contact either Kaposia or Lincoln Center, and you can get whatever information you would need regarding registration. 'Cause it's coming fast already. And then a shout out to our seniors at the high school. Just kind of a reminder, it won't be long, in just a few weeks, the Educational Foundation will be presenting to you their scholarship applications so that you can apply for scholarships that will be given out to you in May. So just kind of keep that in mind. I know Carrie Voyevich will have a meeting for all the seniors and hand out the book and explain the process. But that is just a few short weeks away, so kind of keep that in mind. Excuse me. And I too want to thank all of our new board officers for stepping up to the plate, taking that responsibility, and we appreciate that. And several of us board members will be attending the Minnesota State School Boards Association annual conference this week at the Convention Center in Minneapolis. And we do want to put a shout out, congratulations to Inspector Diaz, as she will be receiving her recognition award for attending all of her trainings. So thank you, Linda, for doing that, and you will be recognized at the luncheon, and we look forward to that. The conference is an annual event that is given free of charge to boards in Minnesota as members of the School Board Association. So we look forward to the trainings, information, and I guess for me, the networking with other districts all across the state of Minnesota. You really learn a lot from talking with other groups. And you also find that we all deal with a lot of the same issues, so it's good to get different opinions. It's always fun. And our main guest speaker this year is John Quinones, who is on channel on ABC. You probably have all seen his show, What Would You Do Now? So we look forward to hearing John, what he has to say regarding education. So, thank you.
Thanks, Wendy. Bill?
I just want to shout out to the boys basketball team. They have a home game tomorrow night against Mount Amidai. And as with most functions here, seniors are free. They're very entertaining and fun to watch, and I'm optimistic that we'll have a very good year this year.
Thanks, Bill.
Senior citizens, that is.
Senior citizens, yeah, not seniors.
Yeah, senior citizens. Well, all the juniors and seniors are now flooding in. Thank you.
They're demanding.
Nikki?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. That's it for tonight. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.